out here noodling on the CJ. I just took a video through this neat little borescope I got from Amazon. It was like 20 or 30 bucks. Plugs right into my phone, allows me to take pictures and videos, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but I've got my cylinder number 1 up at top dead center, and I just loosened up my distributor cap to make sure. Yep, pointed right at cylinder 1, which verifies that I'm on that whatever, compression, exhaust stroke, compression stroke, right? Probably, it's the right stroke. It's firing, cylinder 1 right now, top dead center. So now, where's my timing is the question. Kind of looks like my timing mark. I can go get this baby. Is right about here. I'm gonna turn you guys upside down. We'll see if I can flip this clip in editing. Let's see if you guys can get in there. You can see I've got a tab right there. Oh no, you cannot see. Anyways, promise there's a tab right there next to the water pump. Here's a great example of what that tab actually looks like. On my engine, it's covered by the water pump, but you can see the very corner of that in the little freeze frame that I did. You can see the numbers on there are going to denote your timing when they align with the little white painted mark on my engine. Here's an example of a different style timing tab on the same Chevy 350. It's off to the side. And top dead center on my cylinder 1 is like right at the beginning of that tab. So that's just verifying that this engine's built right. It's got the correct timing tab on it. Did some research. I think that timing tab means that this is an older engine. So I'll find a serial number somewhere right now and figure out what this engine's out of. Okay, verified that my timing mark and tab are all correct, only because I was a little suspicious after the first time we messed with it. I'm just kind of learning here, but I think that my distributor might not have a lot of mechanical advance, and my vacuum advance might have a lot, but I'm not really sure because I don't know what I'm doing. So switch to my plug wires around here. Just because one was a little too short for how I wanted to route it. But now I am going back in with everything. Oh my goodness. With the headers that are on this right now, cylinders 5 and 6, the third one's back, are really hard to get the spark plug wires on. They're just tucked on in there, aren't they? And I don't know how in the world to keep that wire from touching the headers as I'm running, which I imagine can't be good for it. I'm telling you, man, this is what, cylinder 6? This is horrible. I think it's on. I guess I'll know if I'm missing. All right. Cracked my finger in weird directions. Everything's on. Distributor. Oh, I need to lock those little spinny boys down real quick. Okay, 3 easiest tabs to lock down are down. Remind me to do that 4th one later, please. Now, I have my vacuum advanced disconnected. I've got a vacuum gauge connector right there. I've done the YouTubing and the asking. And these are my idle air screws. That's gonna control how much air or fuel, really fuel, is getting let in with each little poof. This guy, this is my idle screw. I might mess with my idle a little bit, but initially it's these two guys. So I'm gonna go watch a variety of YouTube videos or read something, maybe ChatGPT, I don't know, probably not that one for this job. Then I'll get back and I'll show you if a beginner can do that. All right, so the first step here is to start her up and warm her up. So let's see if you can, little tip here, something I just learned. Get some fuel squirted in there with my accelerator pump. Hearing it squirt, not seeing much because the filter's empty, but hasn't been started in a little bit. So let's see if she starts right up, huh? Got a manual choke on this guy. That's the wipers, manual choke, high idle. Oh yeah. Oh no. Let's try again. All right, a little bit of gas. All right. It's not liking my choke right now. I mean, that makes... There we go. It just really didn't like the choke. The choke was killing it for a second there. I'll need to, here. I've been messing... Oh, look at that. Looks like it's just condensation on my exhaust wrap there. Sounds alright. Alright, sitting at about 900 RPMs. That's just the regular idle, so that's a little high. I don't think I want it idling at 900 all the time. But that'll be fine for now. I need it to warm up. I'll get the fan circulating here in a bit. Oh, I need to, holy cow, I'm smoking myself out. Look at that. Big old boom boxes back here. Those are both two 10-inch subs, I think. Heck, we got somebody named Gravity closing my shop door. Yep. Stay. So, now, when I turn my fan, it's hot. I think I've got a working temp gauge with you. Yeah. I don't think it's pinging or any of those words that I learned. So I don't think it's too lean, but I kind of already knew that. I'm not confident that my heat gauge works. You might know if you actually just watched the last video, because I think I've seen that work or not work before while driving around. It's probably an important one to figure out, eh? If my gas gauge works though, shout out to me for doing that. I thought I broke that thing when I put the sender in. Alright, well, I'm going to turn the fan on. I guess I'll let this run for a while and come back to you if that gauge creeps up. Alright, so my temperature gauge rose a little bit. It's been about 5 minutes. Step one, I got the vacuum gauge hooked up. It's a cheap Amazon gauge. And it's hooked up to manifold vacuum, which means even at idle, I've got 20 pounds and PSI. So I've got my vacuum advance actually hooked up because I'm messing with fuel now, so I want the advance to be how it will be when I'm driving. And yeah, so I'm all set now, assuming this is going to get nice and warm, to start adjusting my idle mixture screws, which are here, um, to mess with that. So I'll let you guys know. I'll go get a screwdriver and start this. Huh. I can just pull my idle down. I don't think that's right. I'm not sure what's going on here though, or why it's like that. Let me check this out real quick with a flashlight and get back to you guys. I'm gonna lubricate all that real quick with something hopefully non-flammable. I don't know if I have non-flammable lubricant. Anyways, something non-explodable. Um, see if some PB blaster will help. But I might have to end up. Oh, you saw none of that. Unfortunately, if I had to guess, due to this giant spring combo here, there's been a problem in the past. Somebody tried to fix by just putting a huge spring on. But I'm going to set that there, which that idle's clearly too low. And I'm actually going to screw this in. And going in with this idle screw should eventually bump up against. There we go. So you heard me bump my throttle there with the idle screw, which will increase my idle a little bit. And now I'm sitting pretty just above 500. So that's right at 700, 650 to 700. And that's right where I want to be for my idle. So I'll just pull back on this. Yep, make sure I'm resting against the idle screw real good. And now you can see that with my idle reduced, I'm actually under 20 inch pounds. I don't know. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my screwdriver into this screw here on the right, and I'm going to screw in a quarter turn at a time. So I'm going to go in like that and watch what it does to my vacuum. So let's see if I can set that where you can see it. And the goal is quarter turn there. Vacuum is actually making its way towards 20 right now. We go another quarter turn. So vacuum's almost back at 20. It's doing well. Then I'll just keep doing this until the vacuum drops after I turn it. Alright, I'm being shut down for the night because it occurred to me that since we had set the initial timing, well, that was stuck at 900 RPMs before kind of diving into this, that the initial timing now probably is super off. It was indeed. It's set at about 0 degrees, which is really retarded. I need to advance that, but that stupid distributor loosening nut that's back behind the vacuum advance is super hard to get to. And I have a straight 14 and 9/16 mil. So I need to like get a new wrench or maybe take the distributor cap off to get in there. I'm not really sure. I'll mess with it now that the engine's off, let it cool down. I was burning my hands. But while I was in there, I thought I saw my fuel filter might have dripped. And I was like, oh, that's pretty serious. I need to get on that. And then I was checking it out and I touched it, kind of grabbed it sideways like, oh yeah, I'm going to stop doing that because everything's still hot right now. But as you can see, it just sprays fuel. I need to replace, I didn't replace those lines, and now I obviously know. I need to replace both of those lines, probably replace that filter with a non-glass one, and put it closer to the pump at the bottom or something, so it doesn't boil. Someone let me know that can boil gas there. Be losing gas. But yeah, that's gonna put a stop on things right now. I am not a fan of catching on fire, so I'm gonna come back later, replace that. Probably tomorrow. It's getting a little dark outside, and I would like to go home. I got a sick wife to hang out with. Anyways, guess I'll catch you tomorrow. Alright, did some off-camera work. First, I actually noticed that this throttle return spring setup is just one bolt off of the the thermostat housing. So it was all the way turned this way. So I just tightened it and made the springs a lot tighter. So hopefully that's going to pull it back down to idle even with a little bit of a sticky throttle. It's probably not the right answer, but it's mine for now. Just replaced all of these fuel lines all the way up. You can kind of see I've got 2 fuel filters going now. One is there, you can just see the top. One's before the fuel pump there. So that should be all cleaned up, and this fuel line is coated with a like fiberglass heat resistant deal because it was cheap. And yeah, so now I'm gonna try to start it up, see if it's leaking gas first thing, and then I'll move on to the regularly scheduled programming, hopefully. About to start it up in a second, but first, before I do, mention that I loosened a 9/16 bolt. It's right under that little vacuum advance canister there. It's like hidden in there. And loosening that bolt will allow you to turn the distributor with your hand to adjust the timing as we go. So I'm gonna start with some timing advance because I know that it needs it now. Because you remember I double checked where 0 degrees was on our flywheel down there. And so now I'm gonna hook up the timing light to spark plug 1. Advance it to 8 to 12 degrees. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to disconnect this vacuum line because that goes to my vacuum canister like I was talking about. And that's a vacuum advance line. I do not want my vacuum to be advancing my engine. I want to purely test the mechanical advance right now based on the reading and videos that I've watched recently. So plug that off. Do some vacuum advance, or do some advance messing around with. I'll get back to you when we're running. Dry under there. So here I've got a really low idle right now. I got it set at what should be just under 700. So I'm smoking myself out already though. I'm gonna have to turn that over the project again. Now I'll try to take you guys through what I'm doing, but I don't know if you'll be able to hear me over the sound of the engine. So hook up my tiny light. Check out what that's like. 16 degrees initial advance. It's getting right up to about 32 or 33 total advance, total mechanical advance. And that's obviously mechanical and initial added together. That should keep me in a safe range when my vacuum advance is added. But when I rev it up and I stay on high RPM, it's starting to backfire and do weird things. So now it's time to look at my carburetor again. And then once my carburetor is pretty close and my timing is good, switch spark plugs, carburetor again, and then I should be finished. So carburetor for now. Almost forgot, when I do the carburetor, I want to have this vacuum advance hooked up. It shouldn't be advancing at idle, but I still want it running as if it was on the highway or at a stop sign. Alrighty. Oh, wow. That's no good. Yikes. Alright. So I'll return there. I got 20 inch-pound boost for vacuum. Not boost. Our carburetor should be pretty dialed at this point, to my knowledge, I think. Now let's go check my idle. And you can see that my idle is actually, let's see if I zoom in there, really high right now, which means I think it's a good thing. I did a good job. I'll go pull on my carburetor, make sure it's not sticking. Yeah, it's sticking a little bit. So let's see where it's at now. Still pretty high though. It's at in between 7 and 8 on the high end, probably almost 800 right there. So I'll turn my idle down just a little bit. Because I want to be between 650 and 750 on this automatic. Now with a manual you can be a little bit lower even, but alright, that's right about 700. That's good for me. Alrighty. Should be all tuned up now. I'll replace some spark plugs and hope it fixes that issue at high RPMs. If not, I'll do some more research and learn some more things, I guess. Alright, next issue. You know how I said that cylinders 5 and 6 pretty bad? Yeah. So this is cylinder 6, and I don't know if I'm going to show you how. Let's see if I can get a light. Ooh. The magic of editing. If you can see that, that spark plug just points directly into the header. It's in the middle of that massive tape and pipe. And I think even if I unwrap these, I am not getting any sort of spark plug socket on there. You can see that I don't know if you can see. I got almost no clearance. So I'm gonna try to see if I can fit a wrench on it. Like if I can get an open end wrench on the side of that plug, that would be miraculous, but not feeling good about that. Might have to take off my header to change the plugs, which would super suck, because if these plugs don't work, then I have to take the header off again, change my plugs again. But it would be easier the second time. So I will let you know what happens. All right, here we are with the Jeep. It's been a while. I got really super sick. Didn't work on this for a while, and then managed to find some ram's horn headers to get on this guy. They're the stock truck headers, and since we're just running a pretty stock engine, not worried about horsepower, I heard that they are a lot more reliable. They're better heat sinks because they're cast iron and big. They're also going to hug the block really tight and just go right inside these frame rails. So I should clear my spark plug wires a little better, have a little less heat in the engine, and also be able to take out my spark plugs. So for now, I'm just going to shove my short spark plugs back in there. These ones that are working just fine. They're just really cold for the engine. I'm gonna put them back in and run it for now. I just need to get it running and driving around to kind of get some more motivation back on this project, to do my lights and my steering and all that. I've been messing with things while it's not running for too long, and I got other stuff going on in the background of other projects and life stuff and house stuff. So for now, I have my new headers. I'm thinking about getting them maybe coated, but when I do headers, I'll have to redo kind of the end of the exhaust here. I might have to redo this dipstick because it looks like it's running right where those ram horns run, so I'm not really sure what my solution is there. But for now, gonna unfortunately leave spark plugs and the current setup in it. I know it's tuned pretty well, it's running good. We'll see how it does at highway speeds or revving up, but really the engine needs an oil change and some hours of run time before I know what all is going on. So that's kind of the end of this little adventure of like tuning and timing, I guess. Thanks for watching if you did. I hope this isn't too scatterbrained of a video. I really have no idea what I've recorded in this whole process, but at the end of the day, the main things I got done were now all the fuel lines as well as the fuel filters are switched out. Theirs is insulated as well against heat. I figured out, changed my bracket for my return spring so that it's actually pulling back down to idle, adjusted my idle air mixture, found out the whole header deal, and we'll deal with that later, and also adjusted my timing so that it's actually correct at its total timing now. So we're looking pretty good, making a little bit of progress, and now it's time to tackle some wiring and see if I can't just get this good enough to drive around. Well, thanks for watching, and tune in next time for some really fun Tyler figuring out how to put LEDs in the Jeep. I've heard that it is not going to be easy.